It is hard for me to say I am disabled. Trigger warning contains references to self-harm and suicide. Please see help information at the end of the piece. I feel like a crumpled piece of soiled toilet paper. I'm convinced something horrible is coming for me right at this moment that will destroy everything. Only I don't know what it is. I rack my brain to find some hint of this impending catastrophe, but I can't find any. I want to tear my hair out because my life is about to be destroyed and I am so pathetic that I don't even know how, so there's nothing I can do to protect myself. So I do the only thing that I know will bring me relief. I start slapping my face. I hit myself 10, 15, 20, 30 times, each blow harder than the last, until my cheeks feel like they have been branded with hot coal. My hands are ready to fall off my shoulder sockets. My head rings with pain and confusion, and I can barely see. I Google symptoms of concussion, douse my face with cold water, and carefully avoid shaming myself by looking into the mirror. I'm pleased with my method though. Slapping is so much better than cutting. It is comfortingly low profile, doesn't leave a mess, doesn't figure in research papers on self-harm. Then I go to the kitchen and eat a stale croissant with a disgusting vanilla filling. It makes me want to vomit, but at least it's soft enough for my traumatized jaws. My heart wants to tear out of my chest every waking minute. I spend half of any given month in a limbo, lying dead still in my bed, not even moving to wipe my face that's a mess of snot and tears, too scared to exercise my cardiac muscles and too tired to care. But the GP I saw last week said there's nothing wrong in my echocardiogram. Must be anxiety, he said coolly, as if that explanation I've heard 1,000,000 times somehow makes the nuclear war inside my chest all right. Must be anxiety means it isn't real. Must be anxiety means grow a pair. Must be anxiety means stop being pathetic. When the frustration settles, self-doubt floats up. Have I not been a super achiever all my life? Have I not got A+ ratings in important jobs at important companies? Have I not posed for professional photographers so they can make me look cerebral on my employer's website? Have I not exhausted one passport and nearly saturated another with visa stamps? So what if I sometimes write suicide notes as a pastime? How could I have accomplished so much if something was really wrong with me? Then I remember how I leave hidden markers on my suitcase when I'm traveling, so I can tell if the hotel staff have slipped something illegal in it in my absence to take revenge for something I did to them that I cannot name. How I never find any proof of tampering, yet I rip open my bags at the last minute before every flight. How I dump my neatly folded clothes in a heap, ransack every crease and pocket for something dangerous I'm convinced someone has planted inside them. How I manically shake my cabin trolley for the sound of contraband inside the handles. I hear nothing, which drives me insane because I'm convinced it's there. I give up. Then I get to the airport food court and eat a burger, double meat patties, and half a dozen wings. The day I achieve my career's biggest fantasy, I find myself standing in the bathroom in my friend's place, my mouth wide open, my tongue hanging over the sink, drooling a syrup of blood and saliva from the edges of my tongue, alive with half a dozen ulcers like a pink pearl necklace. I'm about to start a fellowship in Oxford. Porrin, people in the labor class neighborhood of my childhood would call this place reverentially, never daring to use the actual proper noun as if it were a jinn that would suddenly come alive and seduce their children to such decadent heights of ambition from where they could only fall and break their necks. I'm so close to that mythical ground right now, but instead of rose petals, I find blood. "The boy is stressed," a dentist declared when I was 9 or 10. "That's why he keeps getting all these ulcers." What an absurd thing to say. How could a 10-year-old be stressed? A 10-year-old in 2022? Sure. But a stressed 10-year-old in 1993? Fuck off. Now, at 40, I'm standing in my friend's bathroom in this crisp, wintry town, a beautiful home made by two beautiful people, and my ugly tongue is reminding me that I can run away to Eden, but I will foul it up with the shit that I drag with me. Or maybe it drags me around. I resist my slapping routine only because it's so quiet here. Why are houses in Europe so fucking quiet? Like, how about some privacy for those who want to torture themselves? You wouldn't know any of this if you joined me for dinner minutes afterwards. I'm devouring spicy momos from the neighborhood Nepali joint, each bite scalding my blisters. And I'm pretending that the look of mild delirium on my face is euphoria, not horror. Another day at another airport, I spot a standee that encourages passengers to speak to the staff if they need help with any invisible disabilities. My heart sings. They see me. I'm tempted to walk up to someone. Perhaps they know how to help people attacked by their own luggage. Perhaps what I have always needed, is a kind airport concierge, not another doctor. But I kill the fantasy even before it has fully flowered. You privileged idiot, waltzing in and out of airports, eating overpriced airport food and whining about what exactly? Mommy, my mind is out of control. Na 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 na. People like you are a fucking disgrace. You plunder all the riches of the world, and then you have the cheek to also eat up whatever little space is left for those without your obscene advantages. One morning, in the middle of a frustrating therapy session that's going nowhere, I pause, let out a deep breath, and declare to my therapist of 5 years, I think I need to accept that I am disabled. She hums. I know that It's the she hums whenever I say something she has been waiting to hear. A Rubicon I needed to cross for therapy to do its job. She says. Do say more. I mean, it isn't a new feeling, you know. I've been thinking about it for a while. I start replying with clarity and gusto. But then confusion and panic well up inside me. Did I just appropriate a sacred word too casually after years of telling myself that I had no claim to it? Did I cross a line from where there's no coming back? I hurriedly changed the topic. Disability, noun. The state of having an illness, injury, or medical condition that makes it difficult to do the things that other people do. I have found many ways to keep that word from entering my life. I have pompously told myself that denying my condition power over me is a political statement. That giving up my share of the meager attention and resources reserved for those who live with disability, real, tangible disability, not my shadowy kind that you can only see if you x-ray my soul, is an act of enormous benevolence. I have labeled myself a high-functioning depressive. I'm super able, I have screamed, raising my middle finger to my hypomania and OCD. Maybe I'm growing old. But it would be nice to stop, no? What kind of man would I be if I believed that one is only disabled when one is able to perform it? What if the very tools we use to deny our suffering control over us are weaponized against us by those who whisper, "It's all in your head"? For a while now, I've been asking my openly disabled friends, both those who identify as person with disability and those who prefer disabled person, if what I'm going through is a form of midlife crisis. Am I bored of being just mentally ill, so disability feels like an exciting step up? If I come out as disabled, would it mean that I'm wedded to that identity forever? Or can I tell myself I don't feel particularly disabled while cooking my favorite mustard Ilish recipe or playing balloon volleyball with my son? Would I be accepted by the disability community, populated by fierce, powerful figures that I've revered from a distance? What if I use the wrong language and get banned forever? The last friend I subjected to my anxious rant, you know who you are, smiled and said, "Relax. You have my permission to call yourself disabled." It calmed me, but not enough for me to make the leap. Then I found an essay by Joanne Limburg, where she wonders whether to tick yes, no, or prefer not to say on a form that asks her if she considers herself a disabled person. For most of my life, she writes, I have been used to thinking of disabled people in the mainstream way, that is, in the third person. When I tick yes, I still can't quite believe it. Even after 8 years of paying close attention to disability scholarship and activism, when I picture disability, my mind still defaults to the stock images, the wheelchair symbol, the guide dog, the white stick, the prosthetic limb, the accessible toilet. You asked if I considered myself to be disabled, but as you can see, one of the reasons why that's such a tricky question is that before I answer it, I'm trying to calculate the relative merits of yes, no, and prefer not to say based on my best guess about what you think disability is, what you think it looks like, and how you will treat me based on my answer. How will you? If you need help, please see therapyroute.com that provides contact details of free helplines around the world. Thank you for listening.